I don't think this could be any more appropriate based upon the last week. We've had, so, you know, I have a 10-year-old son, and I think we all have gone through listening to the video or listening to the communication, the 911 communication of the Covenant shooting. We've watched all the videos, and then on Friday or Thursday and Friday to be able to listen to what's happened in Reedyville. I want to commend our Murfreesboro Fire and Recreation Department. I think the chief is here. Not only the chief, but Nate Williams is back here somewhere. Nate helped coordinate getting buses to get volunteers out to Reedyville. Our police department, my boys, for example, just to give you an idea of how a community comes together. I didn't know this. They came home. They went out to Reedyville day before yesterday, and the entire school was out helping at a family's home who was devastated. So, you know, when something happens like what's happened in our community, it really shows who we are. And so I think it's very appropriate that we talk about National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week, because if it were not for our dispatchers, it's a hard time to get where you're going if you don't know where you're supposed to go, and that's what our dispatchers do. So whereas when an emergency occurs, the prompt response of police officers, firefighters, and paramedics is critical to the protection of life and preservation of property. And whereas the safety of our police officers and firefighters is dependent upon the quality and accuracy of information obtained from citizens who call the Murfreesboro Emergency Communications Center for help. Whereas public safety telecommunicators are the first and most critical contact our citizens have with emergency services. And whereas public safety telecommunicators provide a vital link to our police officers and firefighters by providing them information and ensuring their safety. And whereas public safety telecommunicators of the Murfreesboro Emergency Communications Center have contributed substantially to the apprehension of criminals, suppression of fires, and treatment of patients. And whereas each public safety telecommunicator has exhibited compassion, understanding, and professionalism during the performance of his or her duties in the past year. Now, therefore, I, Shane McFarland, Mayor of the City of Murfreesboro, Tennessee, on behalf of the entire City Council, do hereby proclaim April 9th to the 15th, 2023, to observe National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week, and ask all the citizens to join me in expressing our appreciation to the City of Murfreesboro's emergency communication personnel for their hard work and dedication.
Well, I'm about to come up on my 12-year anniversary, so I started here in April of 2011. It's not really something I ever saw myself doing. I don't know if it was even on my radar as a career choice. I just kind of fell into it, and then I found the love of helping people. It's different every day. You just never know what you're going to get when you come in. So that's kind of what's kept me here. It's almost like a big family here. We see each other here more than our own family sometimes, so you really grow those bonds, and it makes it easier to come into work when you know you've got a great group of people that you're going to be working with. 12 years is a long time. I've just, stayed and grown in my position. I became a CTO, which is a training officer, I think in 2013, so I did that for a few years, and then I became a supervisor in 2018, so I've been doing that since 2018. I mostly oversee the evening shift, even though we're kind of all a day team now, and that's what I do here.
I've been here approximately a year. We moved down here last July. I've been in communications now for 17 years, in emergency services for over 20. I was a fireman and a dispatcher in upstate New York as well. The one thing through the years that really has touched me the most in this job is the fact that you really got to love what you do and the people that you do it with. It's not just about the people calling in, but the people that are in the room with you as well. They're going through the same calls and the same stress that you're going through, and you got to lean on each other to get through that. Well, the one thing that really impressed me when I first came down here was the fact that they really opened their arms up to me, not just as a person, but as somebody with 16 years of experience. Some people have actually come and asked me, questions as to what I've learned in the past and how they could use that here to assist with furthering this center as well.
I served for probably about a little over 4 years in Fayetteville, North Carolina, and then I've been here for just over a year. I read an article a long time ago that said that people who get into this profession to save lives is not necessarily the right way, but if you get in it to help people, you're going to help someone every single day. So I like to work by that philosophy, I guess. Another thing that I kind of, base my work around is CIT, but everyone knows that is, but it's crisis intervention training. And not all telecommunicators get it. I actually got it with my previous agency. But they teach you a lot about how everyone who's calling 911 is in crisis in some way or another. And it kind of rewired my whole brain for the job. I think a lot of people easily lose empathy in this field or in just public services in general because we deal with it so much day in, day out. And it's kind of a way to protect ourselves. But I'm a big believer in maintaining the empathy because you're working with these people who are in crisis and they need an empathetic voice on the phone when they're going through that. So I helped someone give birth over the phone. It was actually her brother calling, so I directed him through the birth. That was probably my dream call, the call that I really, really wanted to take. It's one of the very, very few happy things we get to deal with in here, or just in this field. And I knew it was rare to happen because these days response times are so quick. They have to call and just be right about to give birth when they're calling. So that was very fulfilling to finally get to do that.
A lot of times we're in the background. Sometimes people don't even really know what we do, but we're always here if you need to call us. We're here 24/7, 365. We don't get holidays. Anytime that you call in, somebody is going to answer the phone that's well-trained and prepared to take your call. They're going to get you the help that you need, make sure that you're safe, make sure if you're having a medical emergency that you get the paramedics there quickly. It's just sometimes it's a thankless job, but that's not why we do it, and we're always here when people need help.
The dispatcher role is, they debate whether or not we're responders or we're first responders, but we are the people that are talking to that person on their worst day first. I mean, they're calling us, and the first voice they hear, the first place they're looking for help is here at dispatch. And the training here in Murfreesboro is tremendous compared to where I came from. We rarely ever went to trainings where they send people all over the countryside to get further training to make us better, so that when that person is having their worst day, we're able to calm them down. We're able to save their life, to assist them in any way we can to make sure that their day does get better.